So, today's opener goes over using intercepts to graph lines. So, what the point is we're going to determine the x and y intercepts for the following equation. Then plot the intercepts, then graph the line. Now, what does an intercept mean? What does that mean? If a line intercepts something, what does that mean?
Both axes.
Yeah, it goes through the axis. So, it's where that line goes through the y-axis and then the x-axis. Okay? So, we need to determine, if we use this equation, what the y-intercept is going to be and then what the x-intercept is going to be. Now, because we have this equation here, and it does not give us, we don't know what x or y is, we're going to have to determine that. We're going to start with x equals 0. The reason why we're going to start with x equals 0 is because it makes our equation to solve much simpler. So in your opener, it already has a line split in the sides divided for you, and it already has our x equals 0 set and our y equals 0. Now, normally, you guys will have to write this part in here, and it'll be worth a point on your quiz or your homework assignment, okay? So you need to make sure you get into the habit of that. So if we take this equation, 3x minus 4y equals 12, we're going to solve it twice. The first time we're going to solve it by substituting for which variable? X. And what am I going to substitute for x? 0. So I rewrite my equation. So 3, what do I substitute for x? So 3 times 0 minus 4y equals 12. Now, back to first triad. Anytime I solve an equation, the first thing I do here, circle my variable, draw my line of equality, and then I solve. Now, I made it somewhat easy for us because anything times 0 is, so I'm just going to get rid of that. I'm not going to rework that and rewrite everything. I'm just going to cross it out and get rid of it. So now from here, I want to get the y by itself. So how do I get the y by itself? Divide by negative 4 on both sides. So on my left side it cancels, so I'm going to bring down my y equals, and then what's 12 divided by negative 4?
Negative 3.
So I have my first ordered pair ready. Remember, ordered pair goes in which order? What comes first, x or y? And then my y. So what did my x value equal? 0. And what does my y equal? Negative 3. So there's your first ordered pair. So now we know where that line is going to cross. Which intercept? Is the line going to cross through the x or the y-intercept?
Y.
The y. Good. Okay? So now we solve again, but this time we're going to determine what the x-intercept is going to be. So I'm going to use the exact same equation, but this time I'm going to substitute using which variable? Y. So I rewrite my equation, so I'm going to write 3x minus 4, and what do I substitute for that y? So 4 times 0 equals 12. You guys have a lot more room on your paper. Okay? Again, anytime I'm solving for a variable, I circle my variable I need to solve for, draw my line of equality. Anything times 0 is, so I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of that. I don't need that negative 4 times 0. So I just scribbled it out, got rid of it. Sorry, it'll catch up. My iPad's a little bit behind, but it'll catch up. So now, I need to get the variable x by itself. How do I get the x by itself?
Divide by 3.
So then x equals,
Positive 4.
from here, I go down, I write my ordered pair. What's my x value?
4.
Because it says 4. Then what's my y value?
0.
There's my second ordered pair. So that's part 1. Now, the part 2, we're going to graph those two ordered pairs to find where it intercepts the axis. Now, before I graph, I need to go ahead and label my x and y coordinate, or excuse me, my x and y axis. The one that runs vertical is my y, and the one that runs horizontal is my x. All right, let's graph. So my first ordered pair, my x value is 0, my y value is negative 3. So I start at my origin, and what do I do?
Go down 3.
Go down 3. Okay? Let's graph my second ordered pair. My x value was 4, my y value is 0. I start at my origin. What do I go? Which way? 1, 2, 3, 4. When I go to graph my line, my expectations stay the same. Your line needs to go through both or all plotted points. It needs to go to the end of the coordinate plane and it needs to have arrows. Oh, that was not what I wanted. When you graph your line, you don't need to name this line because there's only going to be one line on the coordinate plane. But if you're graphing more than one line on the coordinate plane, can you go put them on the shelf for me?
Yeah.
Thank you. If you go to graph more than one line on the coordinate plane, then you will name them. Thank you.
See ya.
See ya, Ethan. Have a good day. Any questions?